one last thing, Mike. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where you're going to be and who you're going to be working with in the Navy music program?
Well, starting this fall, I'll be working with the United States Navy Band that is at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. It's the oldest organized Navy band that the United States Navy has, that the country has. It's been in existence since the late 1800s. And the actual specific unit I'm going to be playing with is I will be the trumpet player for a three-piece horn section in the Navy's premier contemporary music ensemble called Electric Brigade. And they specialize in doing, like the name implies, contemporary music, meaning that they do music going back to the 70s, 80s, 90s, and current top 40 material that's heard on the radio today. And one of their functions, they're used in for recruiting purposes. They're used to perform for Navy functions such as dances and balls and private parties for admirals. I believe they've done some White House functions in the past because of the close proximity to Washington, D.C. The band is currently led by musician chief Frank Dominguez, and the Navy band Annapolis is right now led by Lieutenant Commander Brian Walden. And it's going to be a real honor and a privilege to be able to play with this fine musical group. I've heard some recordings of them. I haven't actually heard them live, but I've heard some recordings of them, and they really are world-class, outstanding musicians. And they take what they do very seriously, and they have a lot of fun doing it as well. So I'm looking forward to getting an opportunity to play with them.
Well, I'm sure they're pretty excited about getting you too. I would think.
I think they are. It's kind of funny because there's a club in Annapolis that Tower of Power has played at for the last several years. It's called Ram's Head.
Right.
And I found out early in the process when I was looking into to going back into the Navy that actually most of the members of the band have been out to see me perform with Tower of Power at this particular club. And they were pretty stoked, I think, when they found out that I was interested in the gig. I just want to say really quick, I have incredible amount of admiration for Doc, for Emilio, for David, for Rocco, for being able to do what they've done for over 41 years now. Because I got to tell you, sometimes the road kicks my ass, and I'm 20 years younger than they are, and I really don't know how they do it. I mean, certainly the love for the band and the love for the music that we all share is a big part of it, and the love that the fans show us and the appreciation that we get is goes a long way to help keep us out there on the road. But the road it can be very difficult. A lot of the fans, they don't see the rather unglamorous side of what it is to be a touring musician.
Right.
And so I'm looking forward to not having to live out of a suitcase, not having to wait in lines at the airport, and not living on a tour bus with 14 other guys. It can be very trying at times, and being away, separated from your family, also takes its toll as well. So. That was a big part of my decision, and it's going to be nice in 10 years when I can retire with a military pension and medical and dental benefit, the finest medical health care plan available for the rest of my life, to be able to also walk away with hopefully a graduate level degree that I can apply towards getting landing a nice teaching job at a music conservatory or a university that has a good solid music program that could utilize my skills.
No, absolutely. And after a 10-year break from being out on the road, you never know what the future may bring.
Oh, absolutely. It's not going to surprise me one bit that Tower of Power in 10 years from now will still be going strong and recording and playing and if in 10 years from now there's some some a reason for me to do some playing with them again, I would be absolutely delighted and honored to be able to go back and play with Tower of Power. You never know what the future may bring. I'm sure if you had asked Mick what 18, 19 years ago when he left the band, if he could have foreseen the day when he would return as a full-time member again, he probably would have told you it would have been difficult for him to see at that time. But you never know what can happen in the future.
Well, that's absolutely right. Well, I want to wish you the very best. I know this is your last week, basically, playing with the band. And from what I've read on the schedule, it seems like there will be a little bit of overlap, that Mick and you will both be appearing out at San Mateo. Is that right?
Not at San Mateo. Mick will be performing at San Mateo by himself. I will be joining the band on stage this coming Friday in San Diego on September 21st. That will be my final performance. And it looks like also at that point a kind of a treat for the fans that are coming out, but also to try to give the United States Navy music program a little PR boost and a little shot in the arm. Where it looks like I'm going to be taking the oath of enlistment on stage.
Wow! At Humphreys, this is at Humphreys by the Bay, right?
Yes, Humphreys by the Bay.
Okay, I'll have to get the word out on that. Well, it's a very exciting time for you, and like I said, I'm sure you have mixed emotions about this, but you know where you're going and what you want to do, and I wish you all the best. And it's been a pleasure to be able to see you perform with Tower and listen to the recordings that you've done, and hope everything goes well for you.
Well, thank you very much, Brian. I sure appreciate it.